Harassed in chat. Geez, we're getting harassed. It's our first time and we're getting abused in chat for being late by 3 minutes. But welcome, everybody, to all chats from all the different channels we've got on board tonight. We welcome everybody to what's going to be a very special evening, and we're going to keep doing this throughout the finals series. And it's less than 24 hours until the AFL 2025 finals kick off. And it's an exciting time of year, finals. And I was asking a few people today what the finals mean to them, and they talk about, good quality football, disciplined football, courageous football, high scoring. And I'm like, you know what? We can't resonate to any of that. We don't know what you're actually talking about. So funnily enough, even if there was a wild card this year, that none of our teams would have even made it. But yet here we are as the four most qualified people to talk about the final series. We are the best of the rest. So welcome to everybody. Fiona, Pommy and Marnie, thank you so much for jumping on. How are we all?
Very well, thank you.
Going well.
I mean, our team's not playing finals. Our players are up for trade. Our captains, our common medalists are walking out. I mean, life is great, is it not?
I feel I'm missing out on that space. We don't really have anyone up for trade. No one wants our players. We're just listing
you
people.
Poor thing, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you want to take some of the spotlight off Essendon?
You cry into your 3 premiership cups, Chris.
Actually,
Yes,
Marnie,
exactly.
I saw that you retweeted today about Sardis. Now, hands off. I've been told he's ours, so we can fight to the death for Elijah Sardis from the
more
Bombers.
than happy to lay down flat and let you have that one. I've got no issue with that. Sorry, Fee.
How do you feel, Fiona, about? Jeez, don't mention the war. My goodness. Wow.
No, if I don't pull Marnie up on this, my Twitter is going to go crazy at me because I tell everybody in a loving, kind way that unfortunately I just can't be called that. And so now when I don't pull someone up on it, they come for me and they say, hey, you pulled me up on it. Why haven't you told that person off? So now I feel obliged. But I love you. It doesn't change how I feel about you, Mark.
I'm going to just take that as an exemption to call you Fee when I want. So I apologize. Anyone else?
Fiona has left the chat. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you see Fiona has left the chat.
I don't know what you guys are complaining about rumours. Like, people are actually leaving my great football club.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like,
Okay.
oh my God, we're being linked with everyone. But people are leaving me. It's mass exodus.
Contracted players happy to take less. It's crazy.
Us too. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, look, we've all been in a relationship though like that, wouldn't you? When you'd go for less. So, look, we can relate.
What do you make of the exodus, Pom? I mean, what Silvani in particular, with being a father-son going to St Kilda?
Well, I mean, there's two ways to look at it. I mean, one, I have actually really enjoyed Carlton fans struggle to add 8 months to 12 months when people are saying he's the same age as Josh Battle. Why did Cal Toomey say nearly 2 years? I was getting that annoyed by reading people say it that I actually had to ask my 9-year-old son if I'm 40 this year and my friend is 8 months younger than me. Last year, what would the difference in age be from me to them now? And he was like 20 months dad in 2 seconds. And I was like, I must be a good dad. Aside from that, some real scary things. It's always scary seeing people going. Genuinely, though, I'm always of the school. I come from the soccer background. If you don't want to be there, fuck off. So,
fair enough.
I'll hold the door open for you and look forward to booing you round 6.
And Ozzy, this is the uniqueness of this show, that we are in no position in reality to comment about finals, but here we are. And Fiona, what about Zach Merritt? Is he gone? I've seen you have a bit of commentary about this with some scare tactics from the media. What's your take on it all?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard bits and pieces from people who would know, and then I listen to the absolute trash coming out of the media here, and I read between the lines, and especially the psychology of it. It just fits so beautifully in this whole Essendon is a disaster narrative. It just sits in beautifully there that it comes up every year, the Zach Merritt conversation. And I just like to remind people, Zach Merritt is not the first nor the last player and not the best player who will probably go his career without a grand final or a finals win. This is not a new concept. Players come and go, and rarely do the majority of them experience success. So it's just a regurgitated argument. It just, as I said, it suits the narrative. I'm not doubting that Essendon are a mess. I'm the first one to be self-deprecatory about us. But, the Zach Merritt his exit interview would have been hard. He would have asked questions. He would have relayed frustration, but he's not walking out on Essendon, and he won't be traded. And the media have just seen this as an opportunity, as I said, to just take the narrative and fly with it. I mean, I forgot there was finals this week. It's all been about Curnow leaving, and then Zach Merritt walking out at Essendon. That is literally all I've seen. I forgot that there was finals.
It does get overshadowed, doesn't it? And you're right. There's, plenty of players who will go finals winless throughout their career. But, as James Racing said, we kind of had the same kind of shit with Dusty for a lot of years as well. So
yes, you did.
Yeah, they just latch onto it. Now, Justin, this is my first time doing one of these big multi-stream ones. So essentially, so everyone knows, all the chat comments from everyone's chats are flowing through the same spot. So we see and read everything. We're just going to pop up as many as we can, which is really awesome.
It's so good, chat. It's really great to see all of you, from people I've seen in all 4 of your chats and comment sections, all in the one place on our screens anyway. So I hope you're enjoying each other and getting to know each other.
That's it. If you've got questions, fire away as well. But we'll get stuck into it. The first final is actually going to be a really good game. Adelaide up against Collingwood. Bit of a grudge match, I reckon, Pom, after their last encounter. There could be some words spoken potentially. So first versus fourth. Last time they met, the Crows won by 3 points, 59-56 in round 23, which I think out of all the finals is the most recent the two teams have played one another. It's going to be a really interesting encounter, and there could be a bit of spice in this one.
Yeah, I mean, this is what gives all of our clubs hope, the Adelaide story, isn't it? This time last year, 15th, sack Nicks. It was game over. Adelaide, everyone had them as the media darlings, and they have come in, signed a couple of players in the off-season, Peatling and the hilariously named Cumming, Neil Bullen, and they have absolutely stormed up the ladder, haven't they? They are the team to watch. I know Big Mikey's in my chat. Against the team that's been there and done it, who are a little bit battered and bruised at the minute, that 3-headed monster against a weakened backline. This is the game that you really want to watch, though, isn't it? These are two fantastic sides going toe-to-toe. The young pretenders, Adelaide, the old veterans, Collingwood. Something's got to give, hasn't it, in this game?
Definitely does. We'll bring up the Crows. This is just a possible lineup, so don't shoot me if it's completely wrong, chat. I've taken a bit of a punt based on what different fans have said on forums. Well, we've all come up against these sides, and I think we got smashed by them, Fiona. I'm not sure how the Bombers fared against the Crows, but it's their big forwards, isn't it? Phil Thorpe, Walker, Fogarty. It's an impressive and imposing forward line. But then, the other one who scares me a bit is Dan Curtin on the wing. Like, 197-centimetre wingman should not be able to do what he does.
Yeah, he's pretty fearful. And one thing that Bombers people will know from my interactions is that I love a big key forward. I absolutely froth a key forward. I love your Tom Hawkins. Absolutely love a good key forward. I get so much enjoyment out of a one-on-one battle or a big key forward just – imposing themselves on a contest, taking big marks and kicking goals, and Adelaide have 3 of them. And I think this game for me it almost feels like, is this the new powerhouse versus a fading powerhouse? Like, is this Adelaide's coronation or coming into themselves versus is this Collingwood's last chance or last stand? I'm not convinced of either yet, and that's why this game just excites me so much. I love how the Crows play, and as you said, they've got so many of their holes filled, so many role players, and I think they'll be bolstered by their ins as well.
Yeah, well, they seem to be relatively healthy as well, Marnie, and I guess the big out is Rankin. Obviously, we won't talk about all the whys, but how much of a gap does he leave in their forward line, or do you think they've got enough coverage to make do without him?
I think they have enough coverage to do without him. I think we've seen the Crows have probably been arguably the most complete outfit across the season. Obviously finished top spot to show for it. I read a really interesting stat during the week that Ben Keys has never kicked a goal against Collingwood. I think he's played Collingwood 11 times in his career and he's never kicked a goal against them. So you'd think in the absence of Rankin, he'd probably be the one. And he's had a really good couple of seasons as well. He's kind of put himself in the frame as a really dangerous medium-sized forward to really complement the Thilthorpe and Fogarty and Walker sort of trio. I'm really interested to see how the Crows go in this one on the back of the bye. I found probably the last month of footy for them, they were really resilient and they could actually back up what they've put on the park up until that point in the season, and they found a way to get the job done in the last 4 weeks of the season, as opposed to Collingwood, who kind of fell over in the last sort of 6 weeks. We sort of saw, I feel like, the way that each of those sides in the last sort of 6 to 8 weeks of the season handled themselves really differently. Very long season, fatigue kicks in. I felt like Adelaide reached a new level and were kind of able to get themselves in winning positions time and time again, where Collingwood just fell over. So I feel like both of these sides had a well-deserved and well-needed rest. I think this will be really close. I don't know which way it'll go. I don't think it's obvious either way. I think this is definitely the game of week one. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing how each of them are able to recover after the bye.
Do you think the home advantage for Adelaide here is significant?
Yes and no. I think Collingwood's had the wood over Adelaide in the last few times they've played each other. I know that Adelaide won late this season, but I think the last 7 or 8 games prior, I think Collingwood had won most of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was their first time, wasn't it? In like 10
in a while.
10 years,
yeah, a while.
Something like that. Yeah. It was like 6 in a row or something.
Yeah.
I think Michelani back as well is really vital for the Crows too.
Yeah.
I don't know if have they released those official changes yet? That was just my guesstimates, but I think
they released it like an hour ago, I believe.
Okay.
And Big Cox, Cox is officially in, who turns into fucking. I mean, I don't know why I don't know why he's unable to play like that for the rest of the season. I mean, it must frustrate Pies fans. I mean, Pies fans in the chat, does it just frustrate the shit out of you, or do you feel like it's your weapon to bring out in finals?
As a Richmond supporter, and all Richmond supporters in chat will agree, we have very bad PTSD from Mason Cox going full Wayne Carey in 2018. No one could stop him. It was one of the most remarkable performances I've ever seen, and I was actually sitting above the Collingwood cheer squad, and that USA chant will haunt me forever.
Yeah, pain. That sounds painful.
Before we talk about the Pies, question for everybody and in chat as well. What does everyone think of the bye before the finals? Would you rather have the bye there? Would you rather have the bye before the grand final so the two teams get longer to recover, maybe allow for concussions, or no byes at all?
I'd like to see it just. I think the bye, it does help, doesn't it? Because the teams complained about it. Because it was Ross the Boss who, when he was at St Kilda, no, Freeman, wasn't it? He made 18 changes in the last game. Do you remember it? Like it was in the glory years of McCarthy. What a player he was. When people have a question, could Ross the Boss coach? Like, look at that backline Freo had. He had some right Mickey Mouse players. But I can understand. I just think we use the bye shockingly. I think if we were like the Australian AFL likes to pretend to be American. And the one thing we don't steal from the Americans is they make a party whenever they have a break. I feel like this bye would be the perfect time to have the Brownlow, to have some big things on in that 7-day building block to really get to wet the whistle. But it's, I'm kind of for it. I know the players are for it, aren't they? The coaching staff. So you kind of got to listen to them in that avenue, didn't you?
I think there's got to be a bye before the finals and before the grand final, a bye each. Because if a player gets concussed, nothing would kill my soul more if for example, a Nick Martin got concussed or a Zach Merritt got concussed and then missed a grand final or a final. I just can't be having that. So if the rule is 2 weeks for concussions, then or a week and a half for concussions, 12 days, then it's got to allow all your stars. You can't have a grand final without Jeremy Cameron or, you know what I'm trying to say. Just don't get concussed. Okay, only Carlton, but, accidents happen.
I mean, look, North haven't played finals since there's been a pre-finals bye, so it hasn't really affected me up until this point.
I don't think we have.
And I'm pretty sure we played, I think we played Richmond in 2015 in the last round, you remember? Yeah. And we rested like 9 or 10 players. You guys beat us. Then we played each other again the week later in the elimination final. And the Jared Waite masterclass stole the show. But anyway, you've got 3 flags to show for it, and I've got that to hang my hat on. So we'll leave that conversation.
Got robbed of a free kick as well. Jeez.
Oh.
So, I don't mind it. I do agree with Pom, though. Like, I don't think we make the most of it. Like, I felt like the All-Australian in the bye and then the Legends game, I think, was really good. I think that was actually done very well this year. I think there was genuine interest and excitement around that. But I'm neither here nor there. And I think the reason why I'm neither here nor there is just because North haven't been in the conversation and haven't been around finals since it's been a thing. So,
yeah, I don't mind the bye before the grand final. I think not only does it, help get players fit and ready for it, but I actually think it gives fans a greater chance, especially if they're interstate and need to make plans for accommodation or travel. It actually gives people a bit more time to get down, and you can turn it into a full festival week of football using all the big iconic places around Melbourne that we've got. And I think the AFL would be up for that too. But yeah, I think it just might help people a bit more logistically. But speaking of grand final, again, sorry to get sidetracked, but a good friend of all of ours, Swoop Luke, made the news and got smashed for some bizarre reasons for pointing out rightly that the prices of flights get hiked up 3 or 4 or 5 times when it comes to finals time. And people took that as a woe is me Collingwood post. It was not that whatsoever. It was actually going into bat for all fans. So it was good to see people go and support him. But I remember when West Coast made the grand final, it was actually cheaper for some people to fly from Perth to Singapore than to Melbourne rather than direct to Melbourne. It's just batshit crazy.
Yeah, it's quite unbelievable. It's quite unbelievable. It was almost like people didn't actually read the article or all they needed to do was read the headline. I mean, I don't know how someone misinterprets that message. That was going in, as you said, Chris, going into bat for literally every fan who has to travel or will travel in the future. Like he's taking the load here for the future, for future people having to travel. It's a conversation that needs to be happening. So well done, Lukey.
Yep. Get around him.
You know what? I've bullied Luke quite a bit offline because
of course you did.
Of course you have.
my text when that came up on my newsfeed was I changed the actual wording of what he'd said, and I changed it to "It's absolutely unbelievable. I've had to fly economy with the common folk." And could only get a standard Uber instead of the Uber X. And you wouldn't believe the state of this 3-star hotel. I want a 5-star. But jokes apart, Swoop, he cops a lot of slack. The problem is, though, that's the nature of the beast. Like, I always find it funny that we complain about these things, but this happens all around the world. Like, you want to see, like, when Live Golf is over here in Adelaide, go and look at the B&B prices at Adelaide. It's good business sense. What kind of shits me is the AFL is sponsored by conglomerate airline companies and conglomerate hoteliers. Why aren't they bringing that into like the AFL? Like for me, that's the most logical thing. We're meant to be the people's game until it involves money. And I think Swoop missed a real opportunity. I'm not picking on him. I think he missed a real opportunity. This year, they took free-to-air football off interstate. So the poor interstate fans who support Victorian clubs or the Victorians who support interstate clubs, they were starved of seeing their team without having to spend $30 a month on KO. which is ridiculous. Then put your memberships on top of that. And then you're also now saying that, like, I looked at the prices for the Adelaide game. Like, you want to see them motels. For a dingy motel, you could get a decent 2-week holiday in Bali. Like, it's crazy. Like, we're only going to Australia. As beautiful as Australia is, come on, the AFL can do this. They can subsidise it. So, I mean, we're fining players for sticking fingers up in a charity game. So surely there must be some surplus cash going around.
I saw that Collingwood are actually putting on buses and paying half the cost, and the Collingwood members and supporters obviously pay the rest. I actually did this after the drug scandal. Essendon actually put on buses for Essendon supporters to go to Sydney for our round 1 game. This was the year Cooney's first year, Adam Cooney's first year at the club. And I actually think it was the worst decision of my life. And there have been some bad decisions, but that was up there with one of the worst times I have ever fucking had. It left at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. We had to meet at Windy Hill. And then we were on the bus stopping every fucking 5 minutes at servos. It was a disastrous experience. I would not do it again. However, seeing the extortionist rates of, as Pom said, like 3-star motels and flights, far out. You'd have to be bloody. You'd be doing the bus, would you not? How many of you guys would do the bus? Chat. Keep in mind, it was torturous.
You just said you haven't sold it very well at all.
No. I would just drive if I had
recommend.
the opportunity to do so. And if I was a Collingwood supporter, or if North were playing in Adelaide, Adelaide's a reasonable distance from Melbourne, so I would probably drive. I wouldn't have an issue with that. But I think it's one of those things, like, it is a really frustrating thing. It is something that we see every single year. But as Pommy said, like, even if you're going to go away in school holidays, prices are more expensive. If you're going to go away on a long weekend, prices are more expensive. It's sort of the price you pay for the privilege of going to watch your team, play finals. Some people can justify that. Some people can't. It's, it unfortunately, it's nothing new. And I think more and more we're seeing the AFL turn into a money-making beast. So I think this is just part and parcel of it, right?
Yeah, Damien in the chat. I hear you, Damien. That's probably something I would end up doing.
The one bad experience we had, it was a multiple bad experience. I think it was 2015 when we played Port. Apologies again, Richmond supporter, bringing up another traumatic experience. But we had the elimination final against Port in Adelaide. And with the way the games were going, we could kind of piece together that we were probably going to be playing in Adelaide. So we booked flights to go up there before the result had happened, just hedging our bets. Comes off, so we got cheaper flights, and then they actually cancelled the flights and made everyone rebook at the higher price.
No.
And we're like, you bastards. So not only did we have to do that, we were driving home, and Trent Cotchin kicked against the win in the first quarter, and the game was done in 5 minutes. So that was not the greatest trip that we've taken. But yeah, the fact they cancelled it was pretty piss poor, and that angered us quite a bit. Yeah.
That's really bad.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
You know what's weird? And I can see a touche in my comments, mate. Don't buy the Mikey. That's why they have fences. Just jump them, mate. All right.
What if you can't? What if you're not fast enough to jump a fence? What do you do then?
No, he's a fence jumper for sure.
Yeah, of course he is. I'm talking about me. Mate. He's definitely fast enough. For a fence.
If you're talking about a touche, legit, that guy could win an Olympic gold at 110 hurdles, mate. I tell you, just get a Mikey officer chasing him, and you watch 10-second flat, mate. But you know what? I've got a question here as an ignorant Pom. So, like, I come from a small town in the UK. So we've got a local football team. Shout out Whitby. Up the Seasiders. But we always used to have an old guy who had a minibus. So we have home and away games. Whitby's in the arse end of nowhere. But like he had like he had one of them white vans like your parents told you don't get in. And obviously when you're 11 and you get a chance to go to Goole on away day and he says, give me a gold coin, I'll take you in my van. You're like, no such thing as stranger danger. You know what would be great is to see like fans organise that themselves. Like you see, like someone's got like a big size van. Fred's offered his van. Like honestly, like like and club together, because I reckon the best thing about away trips in the UK are literally cracking open a can at 9 a.m. It's the most spiritual moment of your life. You miss it as a 40-year-old married man with kids. I miss the away day because for 24 hours, I wasn't a man. I was just one of the lads drinking beers, singing songs on the way to the game. So, like, maybe that's something that maybe the fans union. I don't know if we have fans.
This has got a live 8-hour stream, set up cameras in the bus written all over it with the fans sitting on the piss.
Could
you imagine the content? The content you could pull.
You know what? Fuck it. When Carlton make the finals next, I will buy a big bus and we will stream it with the finals.
I'm on that bus. I'm sitting
That
next
would
to
be
you.
epic.
Tom.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I used to watch something on the internet about buses and just picking up people random.
You know what?
But-
Fortunately for Essendon fans in the chat and myself, I'm probably going to have another 25 to 30 years to save for extortionate flights. So you know what? I probably don't have to worry about no bus hopping.
Speak
for
for yourself. Next year, I'll be driving the North Melbourne bus to our first final.
Oh,
Ooh,
called
she's
it. Nan's
cocky.
called it. Jeez.
Well, it's
What
the
would you
hope
call it?
it's
Would you
for
call it?
me, and
Like,
also the hope
would
it's
you
going
call
to
it like?
good, right?
What would you call it? Like fake
Manifestation.
Kanga bus?
Fake.
What would I call it? I don't know. You put me on the spot.
Oh, yeah. I made myself laugh. It's not.
You made me laugh too.
It's not often I make myself. I breached my own. There we are. We're back.
Oh dear. All right.
Now I really just want to get on a bus with all you guys, all the content creators. We don't have to go anywhere. We just go around the block
Get
a
a
few
party
times.
bus. Who cares? Yeah, we'll just do a couple of chap laps. We'll be all right. We'll film it
Let's
all.
do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. The YouTube bus.
We digress.
Yes.
We'll get back into the Collingwood side. Oh
We have
dear.
to?
We
Can we
probably could
about-
have scrapped this and just
Stay in my
talk
delusion
about our
of
own shit.
North playing finals.
Yeah, we
That
could do
would
a
be
poll. We can just boycott the whole finals piece and just talk about all our hypotheticals of what we'll do when we get back in there ourselves.
Our dreams and hopes.
Yeah, that could be another show for sure. But the Pies have got a lot to prove, I
Absolutely.
guess. Did they pick Bobby Hill? Did we end up working? They didn't pick
No,
him?
they didn't. So
Oh.
they've gone with Cox. and
Mason
who's the
Cox,
other-
yeah. And
Who else
Will
is it?
Parker. Will Parker, not to be confused with his brother Peter, who was Spider-Man.
They've dropped McStay as well. I found that
Yeah.
a bit interesting.
Mm.
Doesn't he have a little bit of a niggle? I'm pretty sure I heard
Yeah.
Ralph say that.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know though.
I think he did. I think Pies fans were a bit furious about some of his form as well. But
Okay.
big game for the Pies. Where do we see it being won and lost for them? And we'll probably skip straight to getting some tips, margins, and headlines for the game too.
You know what? I'm sorry, Pies fans, and I know Sean's asked the wonderful question. Of course, Marnie, Fiona, and Chris will be invited to the end of season Pommy, as all the content creators who have
Can we
joined
get a
us,
bus there?
Yeah.
yeah, but are you sure after where this conversation has gone? I mean, yeah, we can do. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a tough game for the Pies, though, to be honest. So I'm going to tip the Crows here in a tight one by 18. But the Crows, the Pies, it's their backline, isn't it? You can't look past it. Like when you look at their backline on real paper at the minute, Darcy Moore, Frampton, and Maynard, can they stop Fogarty, Walker, and Thilthorpe? And you just feel like they can't. And I think this is worse than the side that played round 23 against them. So, and also, no one's talking about it's Neil Bullen's 200th game, but it's Texas 300th. So that Adelaide crowd, when
really?
they kick a goal, it's going to be like
Isn't
Anfield
it also
away.
is it Dacos's 100th or 150th? Or I think
It
he's
is.
got a milestone too. Oh
It
my god,
is.
did that not just I thought I read that somewhere. Pies fans,
That's
but
crazy.
They're
did
pulling
everyone just
every
blink and he's had 100 games? Like, oof.
crazy.
Yeah, I reckon the Crows will get up as well. I got the Crows by 16 points. My headline is how, but spelt H-A-W-E, the Pies couldn't contain the Crows' tools. I think he is a big out, to your point, Pommy, in the context of how their forward line operates. And it could prove to be the difference.
Yeah, I agree with you. The problem is, though, you can never tip against the Pies, can you? Like, it is one of them ones that you kind of just feel it, but I do feel it's too much. I do feel like give Ben Keys the city. I reckon Ben Keys is going to...
Oh, nice.
I reckon Ben Keys, I know Marnie gave us that wonderful start. Ben Keys is not just the best looking man in football, but I do think he's going to have a big final series. It's Ben Keys, very good looking boy. You can't
Ben
argue with that
Keys needs
forehead.
to be in a boy band. Every time I look at him, I think he's missed. He's in the wrong era. He could have been a part of NSYNC or Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, with
like
Josh Shelley as well. They could be called something like Crom Direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wrote no notes for this show as well. This is just vibes.
Off the cuff.
Yeah, it's just
Beautiful.
Professional. I also got the Crows. This is the kind of game that Collingwood would win, though, like backs against the wall. That emotion for Texas 300th, I think, is probably quite underplayed. He's the kind of guy that would step up in his own milestone game and like kick 5. So I'm a big Tex fan. I'd go Crows by 14 points. But I actually wouldn't be surprised if the Crows just also blew them out of the water. Collingwood hasn't had a lot of firepower up forward in the past few weeks either. So I wonder, and without McStay being there, you obviously hope that Mason Cox can pull his weight and give us another great performance that he does every 3 years. But yeah, I think it wouldn't surprise me if the game was close. It also wouldn't surprise me if the Crows just blew them out of the water.
And Fiona, you got the final say on this one?
Sorry, Pies fans. Much love to you, but I think the Crows win this. I've got them winning by 9. I call him Thor Thilp because he's basically Thor in my eyes. Just give him a hammer and he's Thor. And I know nothing about Marvel. So I just think Thor Thilp will be the difference for me. Look, I think the home fortress will be huge, and especially with the Tex milestone. But I also we know that Pies fans are no strangers, or they're not scared of fortresses. They get themselves to games and they'll have their power in the crowd as well. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm not confident to jump off the Pies just yet, but as I said in the beginning, is this Collingwood's last stand? Is this the final push for them?
Fair enough. That's very nice, Justin. No, good predictions. Good predictions. The next game I think is almost the game of the finals round. In some ways, I think it's almost a grand final precursor. The team who wins out of Geelong and Brisbane, I feel, will have 1 foot inside the grand final, second versus third. Last time they met, the Lions got up by 41 points in round 15. I think that the Lions will get Lachie Neale back. I think he should be in line to come back in, and maybe Jared Berry. And then the Cats, well, I mean, they've just got stars all over the park, and they're pretty fit and healthy at the moment. This is going to be an absolute cracker game.
I'm actually going to this game, so I'm very excited. My first final ever, because I figured that Essendon are never going to get there in my youth, so I'm not wasting any more of my youth. I am going to a final, even if Essendon are not there. So I am absolutely excited. I love Geelong. If Essendon didn't exist, it would be Geelong Cats all the way for me. So I'm tipping also Geelong for me, and I think in the end they'll get it done by about 21. So I think this will be a pretty high-scoring game, actually. So very, very much looking forward to it. a clash. It's kind of like a clash of different styles. Geelong's got a lot of firepower where Brisbane just grind it out. So I think it'll be a really good game. Sorry. Sorry. You love who you love, okay?
Yeah, just you can't be going for Geelong in the PommyinOz chat. But no, it's an interesting one because the last time they played, Brisbane absolutely destroyed them at the GMHBA, and the sick part of me just finds it absolutely hilarious if Geelong went out on straight sets and you'd hear Chris Scott start talking about there should be a final at the GMHBA stadium. Like that's my favourite part of finals when Carlton aren't in them. Is just hearing Chris Scott say we should change the narrative so we can win more. But this is a fascinating game, isn't it? I find this one hard to pick because I just think Geelong are that team, aren't they? That really annoying team that they just seem to be there all the time. And you hate it. You hate it, don't they? Because they're just always there and they just won't piss off. And it's interesting because the big narrative of this is they haven't really been challenged on the way home, have they? And I always think that mentally is quite hard. Brisbane have had kind of finals-like games all the way through. Geelong have kind of beaten up on chumps. No
but these
offense.
things don't affect the Cats. That's what makes them so exceptional. Like every other team, that worries. But Cats, they're like,
Because Geelong's like run home has been like Floyd Mayweather's last 10 fights, isn't it? It's like I could have knocked him out as well. So it's fascinating, but I usually would tip the home side. I think Brisbane win this. I don't know why. I've really enjoyed watching Brisbane's last couple of weeks in the season. They just felt like they were starting to believe.
The midfield bats deep, Marnie. The Lions, they are a scary prospect. Although, I mean, Bailey Smith and Max Holmes are no slouches for the Cats. But yeah, it will be fascinating to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I found this one really hard to tip. I really rate Geelong. I'm like Fiona. You blink every year and they're in a prelim. Like I just don't think you can ever dismiss them. And I know that Brisbane are really hotly tipped to go back to back. I think there's a lot of respect across the competition for Brisbane. I think they are a much loved side across the competition. I just really enjoy Geelong, and I think kind of everything I feel has kind of already been said. They're always there, and I think they probably are really nonchalant, and they kind of have this luxury of just being so good year in, year out. They trust their system, and you can just almost slot anyone in any position and they'll make it work. So I've also tipped the Cats. I've got the Cats by 25. I still think that Brisbane could be there on grand final day as well. But I don't know. I think there's something about the Cats this year. I feel like they probably felt like they should have been there last year. And that prelim was one of the best games I've seen for a very, very long time. So I think they'll be looking for their revenge this September for sure.
You just think of players like Patrick Dangerfield and Jerry McCameron and
Jez
Stewart at the G in a big final, and they got a presence and aura. I just think it, and not that Brisbane players don't. As I said, they take grinding to a very impressive level. But yeah, I think the Cats too much presence for mine.
Where would you play Danger? Would you play Danger forward or midfield? I think he's a harder matchup up forward personally, but that's probably more against
forward and throw him in the midfield for a bit of chaos if needed. But I'd play forward.
Yeah, if the game is getting close towards the end of the game, he's your weapon. What
a luxury.
He's your bolt of fire. Yeah, incredible. Yeah. Incredible.
And like I know we all maybe don't like the Cats and take the piss out of them, but you got to respect the hustle and the fact that they've been up there and competing in finals just year after year. I know they haven't had the ultimate success as much as they probably thought they should have, but yeah, when they've got players like Jeremy Cameron doing his thing, it's going to be tough. But at the other end of the ground, Logan Morris has been super impressive this year for such a young key forward, taking over with Joe Danaher leaving Pom. What have you made of his season, and how much of an impact can he have as a young player in a good team in an epic final?
Well, one thing you look at in finals is the energy, and the energy he brings. Like, he's one of them guys who I'm pretty sure in like the warm-ups when they like have the kids running out, he looks like the kind of guy that would celebrate taking a specky on a 3-year-old, doesn't he? So you kind of need that energy in the finals. And, you know, no one talks about this with Fagan, but Fagan is the most adaptable coach. Like this time last year, at the start of last year, they lost Kitty Coleman. All the headlines were like, oh, the zip's gone, they can't transition. Then Zorko went down back and the media was saying he's too old, you can't do that. And they adapted. This year it was they can't win a flag without Danaher. Danaher was the key piece. And they don't look any different. If anything, you'd say they were a bit more dangerous in the forward half of the ground. Like how they've managed to manufacture that. So I think they'll be fantastic. So I think you're spot on, Chris. I think he's gonna have a big final series. I really do think we're in a golden age of key forwards. And I've got a good headline for this one. You know what? I've thought about this one while we've been going there, but I'm gonna go with Kitty littered. Bailey runs the Cats ragged as they march towards finals. I reckon Zach Bailey is the difference maker in this game. In his final season before he joins the Bombers.
I was just about to say, damn it, Pommy, you stole my light. This is how, you know, on the same wavelength we are. Yeah. I was just going to say, just get it out of your system, Bales, and then just get on a plane and make your way over to Tullamarine.
Like
I don't know why you'd want to do that, but hey, I can sell you Anzac Day and Dreamtime. That's what I can sell you.
And Marty, what about your tip and headline for this one?
Yeah, I definitely go Geelong in this one. Geelong by 25. And I am going to go a headline, Jezza kicks himself and the Cats closer to the ton. My wild prediction for this final series is that Jez will hit the ton on grand final day.
Oof.
So
does it mean as much if it's not in the regular season?
No. It needs its own moment.
If he kicks a ton, I reckon that's fun. Like, that's massive anywhere.
Will there be 100,024 people storming the pitch on grand final day? Could you imagine this?
I will do that. I will go and approach my close personal friend Jeremy Cameron on the field after he kicks his 100th on grand final day.
Well, I've got that on record now. We'll be able to hold you to account to that if they make it. And Fiona, what was your tip and headline for this one?
Geelong by 9, and I think the headline will be Danger does it again in finals. Because I just think it's a bit like Cox, not like there's headlines during the year, Danger's past it, he's aging, he hasn't got it, and then in finals, he's a beast. He comes alive. Yeah. You know, that you just see him fire up. Not that it's for him, it's a choice. He's an absolute champion through and through. But he just goes he has that extra gear in him, that heart of a champion. You just, when your team needs you, that Joel Selwood-like mentality. And I just think he'll do it again.
He's got that about him. I think I'm going to go the Lions by 8 points. And my player to watch is Cam Rayner. And I reckon the headline could be it's raining goals as Cam Rayner kicks his 4th. He's just got that X factor. They've got a lot of small X factor players, to be honest, up forward. If it's not him, it could be Charlie Cameron, a whole raft of them. But yeah, it's going to be a really exciting game. I'm actually really keen to see how that one pans out. The next game is the Giants up against the Hawks, which will...
This is Pommy's favourite team.
Is it? Who don't you like, Pommy?
The GWS frauds.
Frauds? Why are they frauds?
One trick pony, aren't they? You stop their back half movement,
tsunami,
which is the sexiest in football. I'll give them that. Their backline movement is amazing, but you've seen them struggle against teams that can stop it. And I feel like Hawks are one of them teams. We saw Hawks do it before early in the year. They adjusted in that horrible condition game, but they're very smart side. I think you're going to see bit of Hawks magic here. I know they'll be favourites at Energy, but I back Hawks in. I don't think Hawks... I think teams try and play football against them. It's very funny. There's certain teams in sport that have this aura where teams play their way and it kind of gives them too much respect. Hawks are one of them teams that I feel like respect nobody on that field. And that's what you need to do against the Giants. Don't be overawed by them. Come out there and hurt them.
Old Hawkball might make a return. We'll bring up the Giants side. Now, the Giants, Fiona, have got some massive decisions to make about. I think they've got 4 or 5 players that could come back in. So I've gone, I mean, Hogan, Brent Daniels, I've read that he might be a little bit less likely. Jake Stringer, Josh Kelly as well. And I think Buckley has been ruled out essentially from their back line. But
too.
yeah, well, yeah, I think he was declared fit, I think.
Yeah, he is.
By the club. So there's some interesting calls, and I guess the Giants have been burnt before by playing underdone players in finals and it backfiring in an epic manner. So whether they roll the dice again is going to be really interesting.
I think the bye week has come at the perfect time for them out of all the teams. I think Jesse Hogan will be the difference. I think Canelio's handy in, and Jake Stringer, as you know, can win the game off his own boot. I think the Orange Tsunami will get it done in this game. I just think they run out games and cut teams apart closer. I don't actually know the statistics or how well they do in last quarters, but it feels to me from my eye test that that they run out games much better. And although the Hawk Ball is, fearless and attacking, I just don't know if this is the finals stage that they're going to announce themselves on, the Hawks. I mean, I'm just frothing at the thought of Toby Green and James Sicily matching up in that same defensive attacking backline, two very fiery customers back there. So the ultimate captain's clash. But yeah, I've got GWS by 27. I did have it initially a bit higher, but I think they'll be too strong, and they're mature enough now. This is not their first dance. They'll be mature enough to get this done in my eyes, and I think I think they'll get it done. And Hogan's the one to watch for me.
Mike, do the Hawks go with the 4 big forwards? I've got Lewis coming out, but they've kind of flirted with the idea of having 4 talls, and it can maybe be detrimental against the team that's got some leg speed like the Giants.
I think they will go all 4 talls. It's probably not what I would do. I would probably take one out. I definitely would also bring Lewis out if it was me, but I'm not Sam Mitchell, and he's the genius for a reason. So I'll let him do the coaching, and I'll just give my less than expert opinion on this one. I read a comment in chat, and I was actually going to bring the same stat. The Hawks have never won a game at NG Stadium before, and yeah, someone pointed out in chat, and I was going to mention that too. So that's a really interesting one. I think they could do it. I think this will be the closest game of the 4. I just think that the Giants, I don't think they'll make too many changes. They've obviously got the luxury of having so many available, but if Carlton 2024 told us anything, it's not to bring back 7 or 8 players for a final, because it just won't work out for you. They do have, in my opinion, more match winners at their disposal. So I think you have to bring in Jake Stringer if he's available. He's definitely a game-breaking kind of player. I think Toby Green is one of, if not the best captain in the competition. The way that he stands up in big games time and time again. I just think that they're a really well-oiled machine, the Giants. But the one thing that I love about both of these sides is I think these two sides have the most self-confidence and self-belief amongst any team in the competition. Maybe you could throw Collingwood into that mix as well. But I think they really believe they're good enough to do it time and time again. Yeah. And I think that's propelled them time and time again. So I'm interested to see how this one goes. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be within a goal. I don't know. I just think there's something about the Giants. I think that Hawthorn should also take the chance with Weddle. I know I've just jumped to something else there. That was the other thing. I know he got through half a game with Box Hill. I think he's too good of a player to leave out. So whether you sub him on, whether you sub him off, what you do with him. But I just still think, I don't know, there's something about the Giants that, I can't go past them.
Hawks are also the only team coming off a loss as well. The only finalist coming off a loss in round 24. Not that necessarily means anything, but I thought that was interesting too.
I was going to tip the Hawks, but then when I saw this comment pop up that Pommy would get a GWS tattoo if they win the flag, I'm feeling like I need to back the Giants now, and we have to have this moment clipped from his chat and keep it on record and hold him accountable. Where would you get the tattoo, Pom? Can we do a poll?
Oh no, because
Jeez, that was a very quick nah.
No, because a lot of my body's tattooed, so I wouldn't want it in somewhere that's going to totally ruin the vibe. We'll go ankle somewhere because I don't show me feet. You won't find me on only feet, so
That's
I'll put
not
it somewhere
what
on
you
my
had
ankle.
in the other chat. It was all about the
That's
feet
right.
pics for OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Mate,
right.
look.
Hey, Pom, I've already put your feet on feet fans. I've already put them on there.
Have you? Well, I mean, good for you. It's good to know that you've got like a little side hustle, which is the main thing.
Hey, gotta pay the bills. Gotta pay the bills. I'm on all of them.
Hey, raspberry ganache ain't cheap, is it?
Exactly.
There it is. But yeah, anyway, back to the football chat. You don't want to hear about my feet and tattoos. I'm going to be different to everyone else. I'm going to back in the Hawks here. I'm going to have a headline for this one. Jack be nimble, Jack be slick. Giants fall hard, miss their finals trick. They are putting that A level in English lit. A level in English lit to use. I think Ginny's going to be the point of difference here. I've just got a feeling that the Hawks are special, and Giants, I know they haven't lost energy to them. I just feel that the Hawks have got a point to prove after last year, and the way that they've played throughout the year, injuries, they keep finding a way. I think Mitchell's going to go deep with them.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Hawks are going to want retribution as well. And there's a lot of feet love in this chat. I'm just saying.
We discussed this in our chat. I told you. I knew it would be. It would be
way too much out about our chat this evening.
I've got the Hawks by 15 points, and my headline is not as good as Pom's. I mean, that's banner writing territory, Pom.
Yeah,
I've got
exactly.
GWS wounded soldiers backfire again. I think they'll take the punt on a few players, and it might just backfire, and the Hawks might be too strong. And I'm with you, Marnie. I would definitely play Weddle as well. I'm not sure whether I would start him or sub him off, but he's just too explosive and too dynamic. Having him, Amon, Impey doing their thing from the back half is going to cause some serious issues. So I would 100% be doing that.
Yeah.
I think so too. I'll give you a tip. I'm not giving you a headline because I'm just not going to be able to give you anything as good as Pom. But I'll go with the Giants by 5.
Giants by 5. Now, Fiona, you gave a tip. Do you have a headline that can beat Pom's?
Oh, definitely not. No. No. I'm going to say no because I thought I could, and then I don't feel like getting completely reamed in the chat. Pom's raised the bar, can't reach it.
Oh, fair enough. Maybe we should do our headlines first before we let Pom go last next time, so we don't all get shit on in an epic manner. That was pretty impressive. The final game is the Dockers up against the Gold Coast Suns. There's Giants in the finals for their first time. Obviously, Hardwick promised the world when going across as coach and has delivered after sort of shaping his team, bringing in Noble and Dan Rioli, and they've started to do some really good things. But last time they met, I think the Suns Fremantle beat them 75-64. And it feels like this is probably the game with the least amount of possible changes to either side. But Freo, they kind of put all their eggs in the Shea Bolton basket, getting him across, and now they're in finals. And they got Patrick Voss strutting his stuff, the man who loves a celebration. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does on a big stage as well.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because this is always one of them ones, isn't it, where people always bring up that start, first finals experience. You need it. Something's got to give. Fremantle, they must be on the biggest vibe, though, ever. And they remind me a lot of 2023 Carlton. You look at their, 11 wins, 1 loss. Was it 10 wins, 1 loss? That they have come into finals like a freight train. Did the unthinkable last week as well against the Doggies. No one gave them a chance. I think they're coming into this with their tails wagging, aren't they? Tails wagging. Mm-hmm. Then Gold Coast, they did it the hard way, didn't they? We all pretty much gave them 4 points for their first game against Port. Hinckley masterclass. Then we started having a bit of hope that Fiona's Bombers might ruin the dimmer party. And
You had one job.
It was that bad, and Fiona was live 10 minutes into the first.
I went early. I went early on the bandwagon. I couldn't hack it. First time all year, I went through 3 90-point plus losses and didn't start it early, and the Gold Coast game finally got me, and she went early.
Does anyone else think, we know that they've announced that they're going to give a farewell game to the Swallow Dog. He's going to finally play finals, so he won't be the best player never to play finals in the modern era, which is nice. Does anyone else feel like that Freo might spring a shock and actually start Fife in the forward line at the start and have like an impact sub after to try and just quell the Rowell and Anderson combination, put a little bit of physicality in there and then sub him off for a little bit more zip in the second half? That's like the big thing that Gold Coast do. Once they get on top of you, they're a problem. If you can kind of make it cagey, you've got a bit of a time to go on.
I don't think they'll do it, Pom. You know why? Because I was at that game, the last game of the round, the Freo versus Dogs game, and when Fife came on, there's a bit of a spiritual buzz to it, him coming on. There's just an energy about him being, he's going to retire after obviously the Dockers finals run. And it was almost like a lifter, not that they needed it at that time. And they're going to use this as their ace in their pockets if for some reason the game is potentially not going their way or they need a bit of a boost. This is what it's going to be. He's got a presence. Again, he's got an aura in himself. He'll come out. He'll lift some younger players. He'll play in wherever they need him, basically, because he's versatile. So I think they're going to keep that ace in their pocket. I was so impressed by Freo. I have been so underwhelmed by Freo all year. And then I went to that game and I watched them live and I watched them absolutely dismantle Bulldogs in the second half. And I thought, wow, they could do some damage here. And I just think, Optus is going to be rocking. I mean, it's a bit different, Adelaide Oval, pardon me, with Collingwood fans. They've got heaps of fans who are going to get there. Optus is going to be full of Freo fans because even though Suns fans get a section and get numbers, they have no fans. So it's not going to be it's going to be a true home ground advantage. And I just think, I don't know that the Suns have the composure in front of 60,000 Purple fans personally. And for me, are the Suns just happy to be there? Or are they actually going to put in and dig deep? And is Dimmer going to get them in a headspace of it's not just good enough to make it. What are you made of? I think purely because I was really impressed by the Dockers in that game against the Bulldogs, I'm going to give them the shout and I'm going to say maybe 11 points. So pretty close still.
I think the performance against Port from the Suns says to me that they're still mentally not 100% there.
Yeah.
I don't think mentally they're strong enough to overcome 60,000 Fremantle fans howling at Optus Stadium. It can get really loud there, especially with, majority of the crowd with one side. I think that the Suns are probably really excited to make it. It's obviously a massive achievement for them in their history, but I think it probably starts and ends here, unfortunately. It'll be good to give them a little bit of exposure. But I think Fremantle probably feel like they have a point to prove. Like what we were talking about Hawthorn before, you guys were saying maybe after last year they just want to come back with a bit of a vengeance. I think Fremantle's probably got the same sort of attitude towards it. I actually really rate Freo as well. They've got a really, really talented list. They also travel very well, so I could see them sustaining this beyond just an elimination final, should they win, which I think we're all probably thinking that they will. I think Alex Pearce's form has been unreal. I don't think that Ben King will be too much of a problem for him. And then the other end, obviously Patrick Voss has had an awesome second half of the year. I really trust what Fremantle do, and I think they trust each other. And I could see them definitely, if they don't just win one, I could see them winning another. I think they're probably the strongest in my mind of the bottom half of the 8.
Where did Fremantle get Patrick Voss from?
I've forgotten.
Shots fired. Well done. Very good.
That's already 2 my way. Is this because I've put your feet on feet fans?
There's got to be payback somewhere. Hey, you've got way too comfortable.
That's very
Don't know
good.
about this, Bob.
I'm with you, Fiona. I was super impressed with Freo against the Bulldogs. And if nothing else, it will give them confidence if they are on the road the week after. They can do it anywhere. And I don't know whether the Dogs had an off night or not, but that was a do-or-die game. So you would expect both teams are going to bring their absolute best. Just how quick they move the ball. Like the slingshot from the back line was phenomenal. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them do the same thing again against the Suns. The Swallow one's interesting. If this was a home and away game, would David Swallow have been picked to play it? Is this a sympathy selection? And if it is, it kind of feels like that's almost raising a flag in some ways.
It doesn't sound like something Dimmer would do. I mean, him best, out of all of us, but it doesn't sound like something Dimmer would do to give someone a bit of a, nostalgic, to have a nostalgic in a bone in his body in a final. It's weird, no?
It does feel like something he wouldn't do, but the selection still feels odd at the same time.
Yeah.
The way he announced it was weird as well. It was a very undimmer. Like, I don't like this. Clarkson went through it last year as well. Ross, he's kind of doing it recently as well, but he's reverted back to Arsehole Ross, and I like Arsehole Ross. I like Arsehole Clarkson. I like whingy, moany, unlikable Dimmer as well. I don't like it when they go through this like transition to being a little bit more PR. Like we've kind of accepted. They're like the mean teacher, aren't they? Like there's always that teacher who your mates hated, but you liked because you found it quite funny that he'd bully one of your mates. Like you kind of want him to still be like that. So it's a weird one because I do feel like Dimmer has kind of like turned into Gold Coast, who, no disrespect to Gold Coast, I have to disagree with Fiona. Gold Coast fans do exist. I had 2 of them sat behind me at the Wrexham game.
They're not real.
One of them was actually in a full kit, which I couldn't believe. Like, actually, like, can you imagine going full kit?
Fake.
Like,
fake fans.
Like,
fake.
Like, genuinely, if you own your club's pants with logos, sort your life out. Come on. That's enough now.
Fake.
Come on.
Fake. I'm telling you, they don't exist.
That looks
Fiona,
like a
that's
guilty
genuinely
laugh from
scary.
Marnie. I'm just saying, she looks guilty at this moment.
We were watching the game. And
she does. She
looks
so
real
does.
guilty.
She
When
has.
Bobby said that,
man.
looks real guilty.
Marnie,
get the
she absolutely has the pants.
I don't have pants. I don't have pants. I've got to draw a line somewhere. Can confirm. But this time next week I might. So watch this.
It's on order. It's on order.
Dear. That was good. But yeah, I can confirm Gold Coast fans exist because he was a full kit. And he started having a burping competition at half time. And I was just like, kind of, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not only paid $120 for tracksuit pants no one wants to wear, but he's 35 years old.
AFL have created them like little robots, and they've just given them the money and said, "Go buy pants." Like they do not exist.
Fiona, I agree with you because if you were around in COVID, conspiracy theories were brilliant, weren't they? Like conspiracy theories went out on it. I actually do believe we are run in a simulation because for people to actually genuinely say I support Gold Coast, bizarre.
That's what I mean. Exactly.
And Australia is the AFL's the only sport I've ever witnessed that people have a second team. That's why I hate GWS so much. Like I have never heard that in my life. Like I have never heard, oh, if my team can't win, I hope this team wins. Like you just meant to hate watch. Like I'm hoping for COVID to happen again and the finals to stop. That's the best case scenario for me.
Best case.
Do you know what I mean? Best case. That's the best case. And we just start again. We just go 2025. That was a write-off. Start again at round 1. OG and food prices come back to normal.
I'm in it for that.
Yeah.
What's everyone's final tip for this one and headline?
I said 11 points, and my headline is not a night for romance, but reality.
I like it. It will be
As
a
in
reality
11
check.
points to Freo. Yeah.
Pom?
27 points, Fremantle Dockers. Headline, Gold Coast goes so wrong, too strong.
Ah, yeah, okay.
You guys, Marnie and Chris, this is why I went first, because I wanted to get in before Pom.
Harold's son, call me.
Yeah.
I got
No, the banner people should call you.
Yeah, I agree.
You're not allowed to be X-rated, though, are you, on them? Marnie will know. She knows the cheer squad. You've got to be, like, really nice and politically correct. Like,
yeah.
Mine would be a little bit vulgar.
Squad is run by the best group of people. I love them so much.
No, but they've got to be, like, nice, haven't they? Like, they can't have, like, vicious pot shots at the opposition.
Unless you're GWS, but then you have to come out and apologise.
Yeah.
Later.
Like mine would be really horrible, like really like cut deep. I'd have to be doing like, you know, an Isaac Rankin and doing a press conference in the morning saying I've learned my lesson. I'm genuinely sorry.
The Blues had a crack at Dusty's barber all those years ago. Jeez.
Yeah, but that's like light-hearted. I'd be like cutting close.
You
to
can
the
go full
bone,
savage.
Like, you know, you know what I mean? Like finding like finding leaks.
Deep dark secrets and just
do you know
exposing.
I would love that. How entertaining would that be?
It'd rattle them. Imagine running out and seeing that. You're like, oh shit, I didn't want that to come out.
You've got all these like savage cheer squads, and then you've got the North Melbourne cheer squad in round 23 doing I Love David Roden chants.
That's fair enough, though. He's one of the best.
He didn't even get a call up for the first week of finals.
I know. Talk about robbery. That's the biggest.
Did he not get a gig this week?
No,
that's bullshit. He's
maybe they're just saving. Maybe they're just saving his shoulders for grand final day.
Maybe.
You know.
I hope so.
You know what, though? Before we do move on, Manny, I've got to give you a compliment because you have introduced me to North Melbourne fans. And I think, like, coming from a Carlton culture for the first 7 years of my life before I went to YouTube, you kind of indoctrinated into Carlton are greater than everyone else. Carlton are superior. And, like, the small-time clubs. And then when you branch out, your support of your team, like, through the last 3 years and the people you've introduced me to and the vibe of North Melbourne fans, I think it's fully commendable that, like, when you go to the football, you're disappointed, but you actually fucking enjoy it, which is so important. Like, I say that to Carlton fans this year. You've got to remember as well that the game is fun as well. You can still want to win, but try and have a little bit of fun while you're there as well. And I'll credit you, Mans, even though at times it looks like you're going to use that scarf to do something horrible to yourself. You are having fun.
I always have a good time. I think for me, I don't know if you guys are the same. My football experience growing up was going to every game in Melbourne with my dad and my brother. And so then in 2020 with COVID, watching it on TV every week. And then in 2021 and the start of 2022, I was living in Perth. So I think I saw North play live like 3 times in those 2.5 year period. So then coming back, despite the fact that our form has been so bad, there's no other way to say it. I still love going. I still have a great time. And this year's been different again because I've met so many people at the footy every single week. And footy's great. Like, at the end of the day, what a privilege to be able to, you know, have the biggest issue in my life for majority of the year being the form of my football club. Like, that's a blessed life, in my opinion. So, cop it on the chin.
Nah, your biggest issue this year was when you pot shot Carlton. I walked down Lygon Street and I saw your face everywhere, wanted, dead or alive.
Was that your face on my milk carton, Marnie? I didn't recognise you.
You know what? All of that, and I still get Jack Darling's rundown tackle on Adam Chera to watch on repeat for the next 6 months.
Oh,
so
nice.
Why do I get the pot shot? That's good for you. Like,
I'll take it.
Jesus, being
Very
hit with
nice,
more
Marnie.
shots.
Imagine
Yeah.
being Adam Chera getting run down by 33-year-old Jack Darling in this car.
Yeah. What's with all the pot shots? I feel like fucking.
Thank you,
Tupac.
Marnie. I mean,
Jesus.
I love Pom. You're throwing shit in my face, and then I've got to give it to Marnie. I mean, is there any love coming for the top section of this chat, Pommy?
Yeah, Pommy. Jesus.
Exactly.
Jesus.
I wake up. We beat them round 1, so I'm not going to fire up. I'm pretty happy with how we went against the Blues. So
Yeah,
All right, well, I got nothing because my team sucks, and I have nothing to hold against.
Fiona has
Pommy.
had nothing for 20 years.
That was one of the worst shows I've ever did. I told Chris how to beat us, and
yeah, he
then
did.
then 24 hours later, I actually watched them reenact what I said to do, and I was like,
I told you we passed this straight on to Uze, straight on the bat phone. So here you go. We've got the blueprint.
cheers, Adam.
Hey, and that happened too. Actually, that happened to me too. The day after that, when I did it with Chris, you beat us.
The secret's out.
All right.
Shit.
Next year, don't you send me that invite, Chris. It'll be Fiona has left the chat again.
Again.
Chris, I'll come on anytime. I'm 2 from 2, so
You are, yeah. We got close one time, but yeah, we
Next year.
actually got shit on the second time. My goodness. What was your headline, mate? Did we get to your headline?
Sunsets on the Gold Coast's first grand final. Far out. It is way past my bedtime. Sunsets on the Gold Coast's first finals showing.
I think that's fair and accurate. I've
I've
gone,
actually got it out. It's not bad.
yeah. Well, only Carlin said it's past 10 p.m. You're unhinged now.
It is, yeah. You probably got 15 minutes to be rogue as.
I've gone full.
Well, let's hang about for another
salty.
15 minutes, please.
Yes. I've gone full salty for my headline. Dimmer's new toys need batteries replaced.
Nice.
Taking it real
Shots
well.
fired. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thrilled
I
for
was
you,
happy
Chris.
with that one when I wrote it down. Yeah, I've gone full salty. No, honestly, I'm forever grateful for what Dimmer did for us. But yeah, the way he left was shit.
You know that's another Aussie AFL quirk as well. You know, like how if
What,
you
holding
suddenly
grudges?
if you hate someone who leaves, you're a bad person. Like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
salty. But like in the UK, that's like normal. Like, you know, if your brother supports another team, it's totally legal to glass him. Like that's just fine.
To glass.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like my little brother supports, no word of a lie, my little brother supports Blackburn due to an argument with me and the big brother. And that year they won the Premier League. So we hated him for supporting someone that beat our team. And then we just like literally that was like the legality that we could beat him up. And my pop would be like, should support United then, shouldn't you, lad? And that was like the cheat code. It was like just slap him round the head, supports Blackburn, Dad. It's fine.
Yeah, I do find it entertaining. People saying, "Oh, you know, he left. You know, fair play to him. No, I hold no grudges. I wouldn't boo him." And I'm like, isn't that part of the theatre of AFL? When a player leaves your club, you don't boo your own players, but you're allowed to boo a player who's left your club.
Well, I don't know, Fiona. I could have sworn I heard some boos from Essendon supporters going Mackay's way this year when I was at a game.
Yes, this is why I say you don't boo your own supporters, because that was disgraceful, and I had a big rant about it. And I think it's absolutely Neanderthal behaviour. And I think,
but when they leave, fair game.
That's exactly right. That's my point. I think that's the theatre of the sport. It's not vitriolic. It's just part of the theatre, the drama.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, any other topics we need to cut off? Any other questions from chat that they want answered, or anyone want the direct link to Pommy's Only Feet page? We can send that through as well.
Just get you a chat invite, chat. You can just come into the DMs.
What's your discount code for your first month?
10% off.
Hey, but I'm getting the royalties because I put them on there. So just don't forget that. The royalties do not go to Pom directly.
You know what? Atouche makes a good point as well, where this final series, he's kind of Mickey Mouse because you don't get to see the two greatest players in AFL history playing the finals, Jesse Motlop and Frankie Evans, like proper footballers. Keep your Callahans, keep your Cornelios. I'd rather have them two. I'd rather be 11th and have them two on my list than be playing in a elimination final.
You were all over Frankie Evans. I saw the Glaze videos and everything.
Yeah, well, back to what Marnie said, and like I can see a lot of the chat. Also, amazing, 20 past 10, and you're all still here. Full credit to you. Thank you very much.
You're lucky I'm still here. I'm way past tucked into bed.
Well, I mean, this is the latest Marnie stayed up without alcohol, and this is probably the longest you've stayed up since you left home, isn't it, Fiona?
Definitely. I'm well and truly sending goodnight texts an hour ago.
She's usually 8 p.m. and she's going to bed. But no, you've got to have fun, haven't you? And I do think, like Brisbane, Chris, you'll attest to this as well. Like you've got to take the little things in life sometimes, haven't you? When you're watching your team 10 goals down and questioning why you're doing this with yourself. So Frankie Evans kicks a junk time goal from 55 meters out. You
take it.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You start right into the Victorian government asking, can we, instead of doing the Dan Andrews statue, just get a Frankie Evans one? You got to cling on to those small green shoots, don't you, when things aren't going your way? So, and I don't blame you. I would have done the same thing. If Sam Lawler had to drop one from 50, I would have done the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. You've got a glaze. And that was all that was left this season, glaze.
Hey, Fitzy in the chat, you make a good point, and that has been by far the hardest, biggest challenge is finishing fan cams and going to bed by 3 a.m. That has been the worst part of
3 a.m.
Yeah,
wow.
Well, the thing is, you're really quite charged after 3 hours of fan cams some weeks, and by the time you go, I know for you guys, you just like splash some water on your face and go, and you can roll into bed. But we got to take the shit off our face, Like by the time I get into bed, have a shower, and wind down and fall asleep, it's 3 a.m. So it's been wonderful joining the YouTube family this year and meeting so many of you legends, 3 of you in front of me. But yeah, that has been the late nights of, they've killed me. I need to work back up that muscle. That died in my 20s.
That's crazy.
I think you just need to have a Diet Coke on hand at all times. That's my secret to life.
A Diet Coke. Okay. I'll take that on board.
Fridge cigarette, as they would call it.
Fridge cigarette.
I've never heard that.
No, I've never heard that either.
There you go. It's my
well, we are creeping towards 10:30. So, look, if stars align, we can maybe start earlier next week. That was probably more my fault because I'm usually at the in-laws on Wednesday nights. But I'll see if I can rearrange some times for next week.
Finals have different rules, Chris.
Different rules. It's like it's like the night grand final, the night podcast show.
That's right.
So
you've got an excuse not to see your in-laws now. Just tell the truth.
Exactly.
Look, honestly, just be like,
no, they're right. I don't want to make you feel bad. He's actually just had an operation, so I've.
Is he watching? Is he watching? Is that why?
No, I don't think so. No, they're Hawthorn supporters, so I don't think they don't.
Oh no, that's fine. Then banter back on the Hawthorn fans. Banter be back on. No, but I'm just going to say, look, you can just say to your wife, look, babe, I'd love to spend time with them, but I'd rather watch top sport.
Do this. 100% every day.
Do what I do. Your parents, not mine.
Yeah, that's a good handball. That's a good handball, but we appreciate everyone jumping on all of the respective chats tonight. Thank you so much for all the comments and the love. Plenty of positive comments about the show itself, which is awesome. So we really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see how the finals pan out this week, and we'll regather next week. And we are planning to try and do a live watch along. Not this week. We'll probably do something next week. We'll pick a game that we can all align to and do a watch along as well. So have a wonderful night, everybody. And yeah, we appreciate all your love and support.
I love you all. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
See you.